We're going to talk about Bill Belichick.
Oh, boy.
Bill Belichick, in an interview recently, said that I have final say in every area when he was asked about play calling. So, do you think that Belichick will take over the offense if things don't go well with other Matt Patricia or Joe Judge, or if both of them? Do you think he could pull the plug and say, okay, I'm going to run this? He's already the de facto GM. He's the head coach. He's the defensive coordinator, essentially. Can you see him taking over the offense as well?
I don't think he'll call the plays on the sidelines during the game.
Really?
No. He's never done that. He's always stood there, let somebody else do it, and he observes and makes adjustments as necessary. And I think that's a smart move. I don't think the head coach should be calling plays either on the defense or the offense. It's a distraction. They should be stepping back, looking at the big picture, deciding on what critical adjustments need to be made in order to win the game. And Bill Belichick's the best at that. He's one of the best. And I don't think he'll upset that formula.
Well, I think I've always said this. Bill Belichick's the greatest head coach of all time. Greatest head coach of all time. I mean, he took the Rams in 2018, who averaged 30 points a game, brought them down to 3. So he did that. He beat the greatest show on turf. That was one of his greatest defensive performances. But there's been faults to his coaching. Multiple losing seasons as the head coach of the Browns. Ugly. Very ugly. Gave up 41.
Didn't have a lot of talent.
Gave up 41 points to Nick Foles and the Eagles.
He did get him to the playoffs one year when he was at Cleveland. They hadn't been to the playoffs in years. He got him to the playoffs.
Yeah, once. Yeah, but other than that, he had losing seasons. He started off.
He had the guts to get rid of what's the quarterback that was the
for who?
For the Browns.
Wait, do you know what year?
He was they loved him out there. It was played for Miami. Who is this? What's his name? I'm getting old. Yeah. Anyway, he benched him and put Testaverde in. Yeah. And that took a lot of guts to do. And that was the right move.
You think?
Yeah.
So what, it was early 90s?
Yeah.
Because we got Bernie Kosar.
Bernie Kosar, exactly. Yeah.
Well, they actually had the same record at the end of the year. They each went 3-3. So Testaverde didn't do much better. And
I think Bill Belichick, he got a raw deal in Cleveland. He did better than they gave him credit for. And they fired him when they moved to Baltimore. Right. But the owner was a head case, so I think it was smart for him to get out of there.
Yeah. Well, we also had, with Cam Newton going, was it 9-7, missing the playoffs?
Yeah. But Cam Newton, there were 3 or 4 games there they could have easily won, right? And
the Seattle game they should have won.
Mistakes. They should have won the Seattle game. That was the offensive coordinator's issue. He shouldn't have. Everyone knew Cam Newton was going to run the ball.
Yeah.
They should have. It should have had a rollout or something, instead of him run right into the line.
Right.
And they would have won that game. And then Cam Newton fumbled in the Buffalo game. They could have easily won that game. They were driving for the winning score. There were several games there. And, then COVID. Cam Newton got COVID, and I think that affected him when he came back. He wasn't 100%. So I give Belichick a pass on that year. And then he made it to playoffs with a rookie quarterback last year. So we'll see what happens this year. They look pretty good in preseason, I must say. Their defense looks very good. The defense looks great.
Mac Jones has been struggling throughout camp, though.
But you know what? In that game, in the second preseason game, he had a drive. He had a beautiful drive there with a long pass right on the money to Aguilar.
No, that was a beautiful throw.
Yeah, that was the first 2 series, that was his first 2 series of the year.
3 and outs for 2 of them against second and third string defensive players.
I don't think they were third string in there.
They were barely any starters.
They were the first stringers.
No, they weren't. They were backups and backups to the backups.
You know what? The first 2 series of the whole year in a preseason game, I give him a break. The third series, he drove him right down the field, scored a touchdown. And then they took him out. I
think Belichick, if things are going bad, I think he will start to take over the offense because he's essentially the only thing he's missing out on the team is being the owner. He's the GM. He's the defensive play caller. He's the head coach. And my guess is he might add offensive play caller to his resume.
Yeah.
because the offense right now is a mess. They're still splitting calls. Week 1 is in 2 weeks. You got to come on with an official play caller. Don't slap OC on his name.
I think he's having Judge and Patricia audition for the job, and he's going to evaluate how they each did, and then he's going to pick one of them to be the offensive. Won't be called the offensive coordinator, but to call the plays. And then I don't think he's going to call the plays.
Well, you're going to have a defensive coordinator call offense, or you're going to have a special teams coordinator call offense.
He's a special guy. He's a very smart guy. He went to WPI. He's an engineer. He's a smart dude. I think he's capable of stepping up and playing that role and doing a good job.
Well, you would hope so, because he's the only guy. Is that or a special teams coordinator who screwed up so badly with the Giants?
Well, we'll see. I bet you it'll work out well.
I told you. I'm not gonna say what my renovation pick are for the Patriots, but
I actually liked the play calling. I thought the play calling was good in the second playoff game. I mean, preseason game. I thought the play calling was good. I liked it. I liked the sequence, the run to pass ratio. I thought that it was pretty good. It was entertaining.
Once again, that one play was 2/3 of Matt
Bailey
Jones' yards,
Zappi. I don't think he's. He doesn't have a strong enough arm. His passes, they look like wounded ducks coming out of there. They really, some of them were really, they were not zippy passes, like his name, Zappy.
Yeah.
They didn't zip. They were
so you don't think
dying quails.
Breaking college football passing records, you don't think that's good enough to be in the NFL?
Well, I think he needs to lift a little weights to get his arm a little stronger, because he doesn't have the zip on the ball that he needs. He threw a pick 6.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. My guess is I really see them struggling in a lot of their games, because for some reason they can't beat Miami, and Miami got better and the Patriots got worse. They lost literally a top 3 corner.
You're calling Belichick Bella Dictator?
Yeah, Bella Dictator. He's taking over the team. It's his control.
Well, he's the head coach. I mean, I think all the other head coaches probably feel the same way.
No, not only is the head coach, he's the GM, he's the defensive play caller, and now I'm saying he's going to be offensive
I'd say it's worked out pretty well. I'm all for
Not
it.
recently.
Yeah.
Not recently. Think about this. We'll
see how this year goes. I think they're going to have a great
Brady,
year.
He had losing seasons. Before Brady. The greatest decision he ever made was drafting Brady.
He did do that, though, right?
Yeah. And then finally realizing that Brady's better than #1 overall pick Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, that was a smart move.
And then implementing him. And then not only that, I'm pretty sure didn't against.
And he stuck with it. He stuck with it for many years.
Didn't he put Bledsoe in? I believe in one of the playoff games.
The
in
AFC
2001.
Championship.
Yeah,
game.
against the 15-1 Steelers.
Yeah, but the only reason he put him in is because Brady got hurt.
Yeah, Brady was injured, and thank God Drew Bledsoe.
They would have won that game anyway.
15-1 Steelers.
They would have won that game. They were going to win that game.
Thank God Drew Bledsoe did not lose the game, though. Thank God.
I know.
But yeah, no. Belichick. My guess is
Bella Dictator.
If he is going to absolutely if the offense blows, I think Belichick will come in and at least.
I don't think it will.
Maybe not assume the role, but definitely have a bigger role in calling the plays.
The offensive line, I'm not so sure. There's some names there I never heard of.
Calls on Isaiah Wynn now. They begun taking calls on Isaiah Wynn to try to get him out of there.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, he's injury prone. My guess is he might get hurt again this year.
Who's playing left tackle now? Who's the starter going to be? It's not Isaiah Wynn.
Well, as of right now, it's Isaiah Wynn. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the backup is.
Where did you hear they're taking calls on him?
I believe. I'm not sure my exact source, but Twitter's where I get all my sources.
Oh, you get Twitter.
Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport and all of them. Let's see if I could bring up Patriots depth chart. I could tell you, but they don't have much depth anymore. The running backs are the only place they.
You don't know.
In.
You know what? They got some young players you haven't heard about before. Maybe they're going to step up and do a good job. There was some guys there on the defense.
I do
know.
know.
Carolina game, they really played very well. They were names I'd never heard of.
The backup to Isaiah Wynn is Yasir Durant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Patriots right now lost Juwan James to
heard of him.
injury. He's a defensive back. They lost him to injury.
He's a rookie, right?
No, I think he's been there for a couple of years.
Nah, never heard of him. Juwan James?
It's Juwan something. Juwan. I'm not actually sure how to spell this guy's name, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he was on the Patriots for a couple.
No, he didn't play much last year. I never saw a guy named James in the backfield there in the defense.
Maybe it's not James then, but he's out to injury. And then Malcolm Butler.
That's too bad, Malcolm
one
Butler
of
got
2
hurt.
years.
Well, what did he get hurt? How did he get hurt?
They just said he's getting put in the IR out for the year.
Wow.
They didn't list if he was hurt or what it is. But people are saying that his tenure with the Patriots is already over, even though he signed a 2-year, $9 million deal.
Huh.
So do I think he'll come back? I have no idea.
It doesn't say how he got hurt. You haven't seen anything.
Nothing was released about. Nothing was released about. What exactly it was.
Huh.
So it
must have happened in a practice game because he was playing in the first preseason game. I didn't see he was hurt. He looked like he was playing well.
Right.